So Jazmin, you, in your application, you said you identified as being whitewashed. What's that mean?
I mean, that's like always like what like my friends always referred to me as. And like, yeah, I guess it just means like white like tendencies, I guess. Like I'm literally sitting here with straight hair, but my hair is not straight.
Does she, when you look at her, does she seem whitewashed to you?
She's my color.
Yeah, but
So
do you
maybe-
feel like the term whitewashed?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I can't. I would have to like know her personally to have an answer to that.
Because your ancestry is you're Filipino too, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Does he look whitewashed to you? Can we?
I'm like really brown. Like,
Yeah.
And was looking white.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So here, let's come back
I would have to know her personally. Yeah.
Okay, let's come back to you. So, do we have to know, how much do we have to know of you to say, like, oh yeah, Jazmin is whitewashed? What would we have to know? Like,
You just like have to be around me, I guess.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
what will we see? What will we experience? By the way, hang on. Do you feel like kind of sheepish about being whitewashed?
No,
No?
no.
Okay, that's good. Because I don't see it as this is the thing for me, right? Now, at this stage in my life, it's been really interesting for me to go out in the world in all these places. But I had a really cool experience growing up as a white kid in Toledo, Ohio, and growing up inside of one culture. Like, I was connected to lots of other cultures, right? But essentially I was white. And now I look back on that fondly to say, like, that's kind of cool. Like, I have that experience. So for me, whitewashed is not it doesn't have to be a negative. It can just be a descriptive thing, but it's not negative. But when you wrote that, did you write it in a negative way?
I guess like a little bit, but like I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like I'm just like that.
So, okay, so let me ask you this question then. What makes you black?
I am.
No, but what makes you black? Let's go with culture right here. All right. Okay, so first off, what you look like. Okay. What about culture-wise?
I don't really know. I mean, like my dad's not very like out there about it. He kind of just like is. I kind of just.
He's an
am.
American black dude.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he's not talking about blackness and black history and being black and culture and connecting you and.
I mean, like a little bit, but not really. And also, like he's adopted, so like we don't know his full background or anything.
And what?
So that like
was
also,
he adopted into? Who adopted him? What kind of?
My grandma's black, so yeah, she did adopt him. But
all right, okay, and then what makes you Filipina? What part of you is Filipina? Like what do you?
I would say I lean into that like a little bit more because like my mom's like very prominent about it. Like her culture is like very known with like my sisters and everything. So yeah.
Does she speak Tagalog?
She does. It was her first language.
Yeah. Did you learn it?
No, she never taught us. She's born and raised in the Philippines, and then she moved over here, but she never taught me and my brother.
Huh. Okay, how do you feel about that?
I like wanted to learn it, but it's kind of hard to learn.
Yeah. But did you ask to learn it ever?
I did, but like she didn't really care, so.
She didn't care?
No.
And what did she want you to be? Who did she want you to be? When you think about, like, his parents and grandparents wanted him to be Albanian, man. And his wanted him to be Nigerian. You know what I mean? And what did your parents want you to be? Or who?
Me.
Ah, okay. Just Jazmin.
Yeah.
Cool. You know what? The way you just said that, by the way, the way you just said, yeah, it's like, that's cool. Like I like that. Like you're just Jazmin. Okay. Do you feel like pressured to, when you hear their story, do you have a voice singing that says, I wish I wish I had that, or I wish I could live in 2 different cultures, or 3 or something.
A little bit, yeah. Like, I wish I knew more about both sides than, like, I do.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to know in particular? Like, give me something that you just wish, like, oh, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. What do you see? Like, what do you see with your mom that you say, like, oh, I wish I could be a little bit more like my mom? Besides speaking Tagalog.
I would say she's like, my mom's very like traditional.
Uh-huh.
And like,
In what way? Give me an example.
I would say like even like with the thing that he said about like moving away, like all my 4 sisters from my mom's side, they all like went to school like 20 minutes from home, and I'm over here like 3 hours away. And then she's like, why would you want to go that far? Like you need to stay close so like we can be around each other and like see each other. Because like Filipinos are like very close together.
Dude,
like they want to keep their families together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want to leave.
Yeah. That's very much a Filipino thing. It's this thing. It's everywhere. Look, you're from outside. You come to this United States, this really incredibly multicultural place, and you build these communities, right? And then those communities become really important. But Filipino culture in particular, but not black culture. Like it's the Filipino side, because for your dad's side, it's not. Do your black friends uplift your Filipino side? Like, do they think it's really cool and yeah? So they want to. So do they ask you a lot of questions and things?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, that keeps it alive for you. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Is that good? Questions?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever asked you these questions before?
No.
So you said in your volunteer application. Oh, first off, both parents are Chinese. No.
My dad's Vietnamese.
And your mom's Chinese.
Yeah, but they both grew up in Vietnam.
They both grew up in Vietnam. Okay. And you speak.
I can speak like, I'm still learning, but like I can speak like conversational Japanese.
Conversational Why Japanese? Like, why not either Vietnamese or Chinese?
See, I asked myself that a lot because
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I just thought it would be fun, and I was like, I want to learn something different because I figured I'd end up learning either Chinese or Vietnamese eventually, but I
Okay.
haven't, so like.
Okay, so you wrote in your application that you are, hang on, you're trying to get more in touch with your culture. How are you trying to get more in touch? What do you mean?
I think like in high school, I kind of started thinking like, wow, like my culture is really cool because we had a lot more discussions about it, about culture and such in high school. And I kind of began to realize that like in kindergarten and I guess like middle school as well, I was really trying to, I guess like fit in. And I don't think it was like a hard thing. It was more like, oh, my mom packed me noodles for lunch. I want a sandwich instead.
Hey, but when I just asked her the question about seeing yourself as white, did you have that?
I didn't see myself as white, but it was more that I wanted to make friends. So I wanted to be similar. Like if my friends were doing something, I wanted to do the same thing, you know?
But when I've talked to so many people who say that about themselves, does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I definitely get it. Like,
Yeah.
because you see all these I'm thinking back to like when I was really little. Like I'd see the people who had like all you're caught up in making friends. So you see people who have a lot of friends, and you're like, oh, I don't look like them. I kind of wish I did, but.
So Vietnamese culture, it could be Vietnamese or really Chinese. What are you most connected to?
I would say it's kind of a mix of both because I think. Even though my mom's Chinese, her dad, my grandpa was like a merchant, so they traveled around so much.
Yeah.
And so I think we bring a lot of different things into like our traditions.
Yeah.
But we cook a lot of like Vietnamese food at home. Also Chinese food. We celebrate I think we celebrate more Chinese holidays though.
It sounds like ideally or whatever, you want to be more like these two guys here a little bit. Or like that would be something for you.
I think a lot of it is like my parents also didn't raise me like bilingual, and I'll go into a Vietnamese restaurant and when I order things, I will order them in English. Like I'll be like, oh, can I get the vermicelli noodles?
So your parents don't give you a hard time about not speaking Vietnamese, or they don't give you
No, like,
because you're a success for them. You speak English fluently without an accent, and that's a success. You're here. Yeah. But you're saying, what is it about your, like, how would you be different? You, Kaitlyn, how would you be different if you were more in touch with your heritage? Like, you're saying, I'm trying to be more in touch. I want to be more in touch. What would that mean for you?
I think a lot of it is like I would like to be able to communicate with like more people.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma and my grandpa speak very broken English,
Uh-huh.
and so I mean I love talking to them, but it kind of gets a bit silly sometimes because I'll say something, and then we'll kind of pretend we understand each other at certain points, and we'll just like keep a conversation like that. And I would like to be able to, get to know them a lot better. And in high school, I did a project where my grandma kind of told me like her life story in Chinese, and then I had my mom like there to translate it for me.
Uh-huh.
And I think that was like a point where I was like, I really wish I was able to communicate with my grandmother.
Yeah, because it becomes like, imagine, bro, you not being able to communicate with your grandparents because you really don't, you speak broken Albanian. And like what you would miss out on in that way. What are you missing out on by, not being able to have one foot in two different cultures? Like, what do you think you're missing out on?
Really practicing my culture, I guess. I feel like when I tell people I'm Vietnamese or I'm Chinese, I would love to talk to them about my culture, especially if they're also Vietnamese or Chinese. But at the same time, it's kind of, when I say that, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I'm like Vietnamese, but I can't speak any Vietnamese. I need you to tell me the names of foods in English, stuff like that.
So it's not, so unlike these your two classmates here, it's like you have like a toe in the water, but that's it. You would like to actually be in it all the way. That would feel, and then you would feel what?
I don't know. I feel like I would feel more a part of the community, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to be able to, I want to be able to talk to more people. Like, I think if I spoke my parents' native languages, I'd be able to talk to a lot more people, and I think that would be really fun.
So you're kind of like a lot of people in this class who study a second language. Right now, they're studying, French or Korean or Chinese or Russian or something, but they have to really study it a lot to be able to go somewhere and talk to people in that language, like to really get into it. Otherwise, so you want to just have that really cool cross-cultural experience. Like I have now when I'm in a Spanish-speaking culture. When I was in Spain learning Spanish, I couldn't understand a damn thing. But now I can enter the culture. Jazmin, how about you? Do you remember the question?
Yeah, I would also say like communication as well, because like all of my mom's side, they all speak Filipino, because like most of them are still in the Philippines. And then I have like two uncles that one's in Australia and one's in Canada. But it's like I can't really talk to like cousins and like aunts because like they don't really understand.
Dude, awesome, man. Can we have a round of applause for awesome? Can you hear that? Bro, tell him your name.
My name is Aaron Matusik.
And you were in Social 19 when?
In 1995.
All right. And what's one thing you remember from Social 19, man? You got 20 seconds.
I remember Sam Richards with long flowing hair.
All right.
And I wore a hat today in case this happened so that no one would see my bald head, but here I am 30. I had long flowing hair too, and now I'm bald.
What do you remember about the class? Like, what did you take away from it? And now you got 15 seconds. One thing.
I came from a small town in western Pennsylvania, and Sam's class opened my mind to culture generally and really income inequality that that we have here in America. At that time, it was 7% of the world controlled the other 93, and I think now it's probably 0.0000001.
Dude.
So I learned how the world works economically, culturally. It just really opened my mind. So,
Dude,
thank you, Sam.
Yeah, dude, thanks for coming back, man. All right, dude.